Dynamite! Dynamite!
Hey. How you doing? My name is Hero, and I want to talk about something I saw on the news the other day, and I was really perplexed by this because this is something that I had to talk to my family about, specifically me. I have over 10,000 hours of footage of me talking on the mic, on camera, and depending on how much you pay for my OnlyFans, hey, yo, you might also get to see me in some other positions. But with the advent of AI and technology and everything that it can do, it makes it a very dangerous situation for video, audio, and my likeness to be taken. Now, there are laws that are designed to stop stuff like that, but just because you make laws for it doesn't mean bad people will obey them. I've never seen a person stop robbing a convenience store because someone said, hey, you could go to jail for up to 10 to 15 years for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Yeah, it's just never happened. So in the event that the laws, the rule of the people, and the things that we expect people to do to happen don't happen, we have to make concessions for ourselves. And then I came across this article that kind of talked about 77% of Americans were fooled by AI, and by no stretch of imaginations, on the Richter scale of how smart Americans are on the grand scheme of things compared to other people in the world, I think we're not in the top 10. We're barely probably scratching the top 20. I'm not special. I've been deceived by AI before. I think right now, if you're looking for a job right now, I think you are constantly being deceived by AI posts. There's hundreds of AI posts that if you click on for job referrals, it's kind of almost deceptive because you have to put in all this information to get the job. So to your mind, it seems like just a regular job posting, but it's actually a way of them garnering information about you and putting that on the step above. So let's first dive in this, and then at the end, I think I'll give like 3 things you can do if you're big time on the internet. And by big time on the internet, meaning pictures, voices, and you have family members who might not be as tech savvy. 3 things you can do to kind of protect yourself and your family from being subjected to all of these things, right? Let's get into it. Survey shows that 77% of Americans were fooled by AI content. You've most likely been fooled by AI generated content. Artificial intelligence technology is going to be the main topic surrounding tech for years to come. The significant in the potential for good and potential for disaster. Well, all about cookies, performance, and surveys on 1,000 internet users in the US get their thoughts on AI technology. It appears that most people have been tricked by AI content at some point. Between AI image generated, AI text generated, AI music generation, and AI video generation, AI voice generation, there are a lot out there that can fool people into thinking, and that's kind of like, as I was reading this out loud, just here in this moment, I'm thinking about people who just want to steal information from you. Not even to talk about people who just want to deceive you. And we've seen people who have been fooled by this. Does anyone remember when that AI Drake and Weeknd song came out? How that track was raw as hell. That track was baller. I was like, damn, this shit actually go hard. I downloaded the song. It's on my iPod. But then also like there's literally a dude who's being charged with a felony right now. I think his name is Walsh or something like that. And he's being charged with a felony because he created a voice recording of Joe Biden's voice telling a black demographic in Washington, D.C. not to go out and vote. What makes things worse is the fact that getting better. Yeah, this is the worst it's ever going to be. And like I said, the benchmark for telling if AI is getting better is, can we create a realistic video of Will Smith eating spaghetti? That is the benchmark for if your AI generation is any good. If it's enough to trick my mind, we're in trouble. Better at this time, it goes on. Nowadays, generators such as DALL-E Mid-Journey, Stable Diffusion, etc., spit out images that can fool the mass majority of population. Also, let's not think about potential ramifications of Sora, OpenAI's absolutely insane video generator hitting the market. So surveys like these are important so that we can get a glimpse into the people, to see what people are thinking. The CEO and the executives of large AI companies are all too eager to tell you about the benefits of AI technology. However, we don't often hear the voice of the little people, the hoi polloi. What the fuck is that? So, the results of the survey from All About Cookies do a better job of painting an accurate picture. AI content has fooled most people in a survey reveals. The point of the survey was to pick Americans' brains about generative AI technology, and the content. The survey asks questions such as how many people have been fooled by AI content? Should content creators be legally responsible for what they produce? Should the social media sites be able to use people's data? And so on. Man, these are a lot of tough questions. There's actually a certain situation going on right now where Section 230 is not being subjugated to attack, but there's a question about, there was the Buffalo, New York shooter who went into a grocery store, and he killed all those people. The thing that they're questioning is not that the websites are responsible for making him do it, but the algorithm that they provided fed him the information and gave him the drive to keep doing the things they was doing. So basically, when he first came to the internet, he first was looking for like self-help routines and workout routines and ways to get into shape, and it quickly progressed to him finding a niche group of the internet world on YouTube and Reddit, where it kind of pushed him into this radicalization. And they're saying the algorithm, which was built by them and funded by them, is being used to usurp safety positions for profit. The longer they keep someone like him on the internet, the more money they make, the more information they get, the more they can obfuscate information from this person. So like there's so many different angles that we as a generation, we as a people right now are not prepared to handle the ramifications of AI. But there's no doubt about it. If every time I went on the internet, without me searching for something, it constantly put something in my face, we do know of a prosecution through suggestion. If you are being driven by information, there's definitely a way of believing that had something to do with your altering your definition of reality. Your reality is really, especially in today's day and age, your reality is just a perception at this point. Facts can literally be thrown out the door because people's reality is when we think about like the madness that was January 6th, there were people who actually believed that if they could break into the Capitol, they could change the way the country was run. There were people who believed that. That's a sickness. That's a sickness. So it's not far to believe that maybe social media companies do need to bear a little bit of responsibility, not necessarily the blame, but the responsibility for what makes it onto their website. If you're telling me that if I play 16 seconds of a Playboi Carti song, and you have an algorithm that can pinpoint that song and remove my video from the algorithm and demonetize my thing, I'm pretty sure you could figure out an algorithm or an AI to notice that if someone starts a conversation with, I don't really like the government and I want to overtake it, maybe cut that video off and put it on a blacklist. So I'm just saying. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying that your priorities are a little fucked. AI generation content exists in many forms on the internet, so it is uncommon for people to see AI generated content several times during the day. Some pieces of media are obvious, like AI generated images that show obvious tells. However, as a technology gets better, it gets much harder to differentiate between what is real and what is not. Other results from the survey reveal more about the story. Of the people surveyed, 93% said that companies should be legally required to disclose they use generative AI content. I think this is 110% true. A lot of movies production studios are going to be using B footage for shit like this. I really worry about what this will do to the arts. The art is it's crazy that we're gonna let something as transformational as art be dictated by AI generated stuff. It's really disgusting here. 82% said that celebrities and public figures should have protections against having their likeness used for AI models. This is also very true, and this is going to be something that if you were on Twitter about a month ago, literally there were a bunch of horrendous pictures of Taylor Swift going around the internet, and there was literally no way of stopping this other than just banning the word Taylor Swift on Twitter. Now we all know that Twitter is a fucking cesspool right now because of his head dickhead leader, but it goes without saying that if companies can't find a way of resolving these issues, they have to be held accountable. We need a way of making sure that these people don't get to run amok, right? 72% believe that content creators should be legally responsible for their AI content. What was the intention? I think if you're writing like a dark piece of media that has very dark and challenging things about it, it's established that this is a form of media. This is a form of this is not real. But in the instance that we have to start, if the instance is your objective was to kind of trick people into believing it's real, then I absolutely believe that you should be held responsible for this. But I just don't want to see a situation where we have I don't want to see a situation where someone thinks because Superman jumped off a building and could fly, and some kid sees that and jumps off of his balcony and thinks he could fly, that we're now trying to sue the creator of that comic book in Superman because he listened to your dumbass kid made it through the thought experiment of whether every kid should be left behind or not. And when it comes to actual data, the use thereof, 97% of surveyed users said that they should be protections against social media companies using their data. This line right here. If this was true, 97% of people believe that social media companies should be held against using our data. If this was actually implemented, we would have zero issue with TikTok right now. If we made this a law of the land for all companies, we would have zero issue with TikTok. But because we don't have the cojones to do the right thing, we get to point at TikTok, even though literally the last election, Meta sold our information to that third-party company, and they use that to make targeted ads, right? 45% believe that user data should be opt-in only, while 37% believe that users' data should be used with exclusions or update terms of service. Surprisingly, only 25% of people said social media companies should not be able to use their data to train AI. I think you should have to ask for permission, but I mean, we are on their website, so I think the permission was given. If you're on their website, I don't know. This one's kind of difficult because so many people make money off of, if Twitch makes a great argument for this. Like, if someone took this video and decided to react to this video, would I be pissed? Yes. But would I be against it? No. I think the thing that's important for us to realize is that what's good for the head should also be good for the tail. So we can't let our feelings dictate these type of arguments as much as I want to. The people have spoken. It should come as no surprise that many people do not like idea of AI content. Along with the potential for good, there is tons of potential for bad. Users are not comfortable with handing over their data to companies, and they are not comfortable with technology that could potentially spread misinformation. Hopefully more services like this will come about and show how people are responding to AI. 16% of sites that post create AI content should share legal responsibilities. All right, so clap it up. I have to agree. I think that our laws our laws, our situations, everything we got going on right now are not keeping up with what AI is doing. So especially if you're someone who makes content or you have a lot of your own information out there, what you should be thinking about and what you should be doing. First and foremost, I think you and your immediate family members should work on a policy of hear everybody, trust nobody. Hear and see everything, but trust nobody. Every family should have their own password. You need to have a verbal password that is obscure and never could be. It's an obscure sentence or phrase or some, and it can't be like an inside joke. It just needs to be something that is obscure. It could be It can't be like something as weird as a combination of. Everyone does this. It's a combination of someone's name in your family and someone else's birthday. You can't use that because someone can say your name and say your birthday using your spoofed voice. So it has to be something so obscure that you would need to know that this was a password. And that needs to be a thing. If anyone ever calls me from my family, I'm just immediately and it could be, and we've seen the stories where someone gets called and they're saying, "Ho, I'm being called from jail. I need you to send money to me right away so I can bail myself out." Immediately, the first thing you should do is just hang up and call the person and see if they'll answer. Because if they calling from a jail, get the name of the jail, hang up and call the jail and ask to see if there's a prisoner being held there with this person's name. Like, you should never take that call on this shit. And even if it's like, oh, it's a collect call, don't worry about all that nonsense. Just call back and get confirmation of who is calling it. I've seen it twice in my lifetime, especially if you're working at a company. This is dangerous, especially for people who work at companies. I work at a big time pharmaceutical company, and we've had 3 people be let go from our company because they were spoofed into believing and giving away access to our network because they believed that one of their bosses or CEOs or stakeholders were calling in the middle of the night needing information really desperately. Get this to me now, and they handed it over. And it was a spoof, and it sucks. But like, that's why in those heat of the moment situation, are like, you gotta be composed enough to know that whatever they're looking to get from you isn't worth what you think it is. You have to be calm. You have to be prepared. And shout out to our department. Our IT and security department, they're some bastards, because you know what these assholes did? They waited till Christmas season and everyone was talking about bonuses. And then they sent a phishing email saying, "All right, you guys, we decided to give you guys bonuses. Click on this link to see what you got." And everybody, waves of people being signed up for verbals. And like, some people had to do this was like their second strike, so they had to redo the course. That was such a douchebag. Oh man, I didn't fall for it, but it pissed me off to no extent, because could you imagine? You're looking for a bonus, and during the holiday season, they use that phishing. Woo. That's some cold-blooded. Oh, damn, that's cold-blooded. All right. Thinking about it just made me angry.